This film was made by Keystone Studios in 1913. It stars Mack Sennett, who was the owner of the studio, Mabel Normand, and Ford Sterling. Mabel Normand was a really popular comedian back then. She was not only a beauty, who was supposed to be rescued by the main actor of the film, but she also made her own stunts, and she was a daredevil. In real life, she was even an airplane pilot. And she was an adventurer and very full of charisma and popular with audiences. Ford Sterling was also a very popular comedian back then. Although his career continued for many years, he lost the peak of his popularity because of his acting style, grounded on exaggerated gestures and artificial characterization with fake mustaches and everything, which soon lost favor with the audiences. However, he got to move on as a bit player until the talkie era. In 1913, he was still in the peak of his popularity, as well as Barney Oldfield, who in real life was a pioneer in car racing, very known throughout the United States. In this film, Mabel and Mack are in love. However, Ford Sterling was also her suitor and tried to make advances on Mabel. As she was a very virtuous woman, being in love with Mack Sennett, she refused his advances. Ford Sterling became angry and decided to take revenge. Therefore, he kidnapped Mabel and tied her to the train tracks, so she would be killed as soon as the train hit her. But Mack realized that Mabel was missing and asked for some help of Barney Oldfield, who was himself in this film. And they both tried to save Mabel by car. And there's a very interesting scene with a race between a car and a train. Both of them were symbols of technology back to the beginning of the 20th century. In the 1910s, cars were still not very common anywhere on Earth. They existed, but most of the population didn't use them yet. And after a typical rescue scene of the Keystone Studios with chases, we can see the famous Keystone cops. However, we know that the Keystone cops weren't particularly competent. So when they tried to save Mabel, they were instantly killed by Ford Sterling. So who could save Mabel? Mabel was saved by her suitor Mack and by Barney Oldfield, who were there in the nick of time, right before the train hit her. They got to remove them from the tracks,